The following may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hospital worker succumbs to injuries in Derby accident. A Derby woman on her way to work at one of the nation's hospitals was struck and killed by a motorist shortly before sunrise on Monday. Sadhna Ramcharan, 49, a custodian of Sutrace, was struck around 5:25 a.m. as she crossed the St. Erin Road to enter a maxi taxi to take her to work at the San Fernando General Hospital. A senior officer at the San Fernando Traffic Branch said that Ramcharan was pitched 120 feet from the point of impact and landed on the roadway. Her husband had parked nearby, waiting for his wife to enter the vehicle to take her to work. Officers of the San Fernando Police and Derby Police Post responded, and a 43-year-old man of Morne Diablo, Pinal, who was driving the vehicle that struck Ramcharan, was questioned by police and released pending further inquiries. Police said that the Toyota Yaris that he was driving was impounded as investigations continue into the crash. Paramedics took Ramcharan to the San Fernando General Hospital, where she was pronounced dead upon arrival. Ramcharan's husband, Adesh Munilal, witnessed a collision that ended the life of his wife, with whom he had a relationship for 26 years. Ramcharan's daughter, Christine Ganga, said that on her mother's workdays, he drove her to the St. Erin Road and waited until she took transportation to go to work. Daddy was waiting in his car as she was going to cross the road to enter the maxi. The maxi driver put out his hand to stop the oncoming vehicles, and she began to cross. Out of nowhere this man came, bullet speed. He hit my mother, who is very tiny, and pitched her in the air. The driver kept going, and after a while he came back to the scene. He told the police to tell us, the family, that he's sorry. My dad witnessed the entire thing. When he crossed the road and held on to her, another driver passed and nearly hit two of them, cried the daughter. Ganga described her mother as always happy, full of life and laughter. She said her mother may have had a premonition about her death. A few days now, she said, when she died, we will miss her. And last night she told Daddy that when she dies, she wanted to be buried in the cemetery nearby. She probably knew inside that something was going to happen, said Ganga. Ganga said the family was told that Ramcharan suffered multiple head and upper body injuries and internal bleeding. An autopsy is expected to be done this week to ascertain the cause of death. Sergeant Stout of the San Fernando Traffic Branch is continuing investigations. Rodney Lutchman erased in Enterprise. Police intends to beef up patrols in the Enterprise Chaguanas area following the murder on Monday evening of 43-year-old Rodney Lutchman. Lutchman, also known as Apache, of John Street Enterprise Chaguanas, was gunned down near the basketball court in Enterprise around 6 p.m. He was a well-known Muslim in the area, and according to police, he was also known as a crime boss who was linked to deceased gang leader Selwyn Robocop Alexis. Investigations are ongoing into this latest killing. Drunken man attacks friend during Lyme. A 32-year-old woman is nursing multiple stab wounds after she was attacked by a man known to her. The victim told police that about 3 a.m. yesterday, she was liming on Junon Street, California, Cuba, drinking alcohol and smoking with a male friend when he began acting violently. The man pulled out an object and stabbed her several times. She raised an alarm and the police and paramedics were notified. The victim was conveyed to the Couva Health Facility by EHS personnel, where she was seen by Dr. Ramkalawan, who stated she was in a stable condition and referred to the San Fernando General Hospital for further medical treatment. PC Fleming is continuing inquiries. Entire family arrested for illegal activities. A teenager charged with having cans of pepper spray and his mom, who allegedly had a taser and 2 firearms, were among a family of 3 that faced a magistrate on Monday. Cashier Videsh Maharaj, 18, his mother Shelian Ramlochan, 40, a digital service manager, and his father, transport provider Varun Arjun, 39, all of Gandhi Village, Debi, were jointly charged by the Customs and Excise Division for having, at their home on June 6, 1,192 cases of alcohol for sale while not being authorized to do so. They all said they were not guilty to the charges laid under the Liquor License Act. Maharaj faced an additional charge of possession of prohibited weapons, namely 47 aerosol-type pepper sprays. Ramlochan also faced a possession of prohibited weapon charge for allegedly having a taser. She also had charges of possession of 2 firearms and possession of 28 rounds of ammunition. Maharaj and Ramlochan were not called upon to enter pleas to the indictable charges. The matters were heard virtually before San Fernando Senior Magistrate Arima Dionnarising. The 3 were represented by attorney Kevin Ratterim, while the Customs and Excise Division was represented by Roger Hector. Following Ramtaram's application for bail, Ramlochan was granted $500,000 bail with a cash alternative of $50,000. Arjun was placed on $300,000 bail with a cash alternative of $30,000, and Maharaj was placed on $100,000 bail with a cash alternative of $10,000. As a condition of bail, Maharaj is to report to the Debi police post once per week, while his parents are to report twice per week. The 3 are also to surrender their passports to the court. They are to return before Dionnarising for the Customs and Excise to present photographs of the alcohol. They were arrested at their home after a joint raid by the Customs and Excise Division and the Financial Intelligence Branch. Charges were laid by CED Officer Roberts and Constable Woodley of the FIB. 4 children rescued from abusive home. 4 children were rescued from a home in Arima on Saturday. The 4 children are all siblings, aged 18, 16, 14, and 12. Police received a report that the children were being mistreated at the home, and an investigation was launched by officers of the Child Protection Unit under the supervision of W. Superintendent Claire Guy Allen. When they arrived, they met the 4 siblings, all of whom appeared to be disoriented and in conditions that were questionable enough that they were ordered removed from the location for their well-being. The children have since been placed in the care of their father. The father told police that he does not have custody of the children, and that as far as he had been aware by the other party, the children were being well taken care of as he had been paying his maintenance fees dutifully. Additionally, he had been denied access from seeing them for some time. The children were medically examined and questioned by the police. They are currently in the care of their father, while investigations into this matter continue. Police said the children are expected to be questioned further this week. Gary Griffith condemns Khadija Amin for her recklessness. Police Commissioner Gary Griffith has condemned St. Augustine MP Khadija Amin for what he described as playing politics with people's lives. The farmers were upset after they were cautioned by police for selling near the roundabout, despite there being a no vending sign a short distance away. The vendors said they feared poverty more than jail as they defied police instructions in the presence of Amin. Commenting on the issue, Griffith said, "This is a member of parliament, and this is what we reach to now? This is really what we do not need. We can't be in the situation of trying to play politics when lives are at stake." Griffith said the MP attempted to incite persons to break the law and protest. However, Amin previously denied his claims. Instead, she said members of the media were invited to cover the confrontation. Seven people have passed away from the novel coronavirus. The persons were 4 elderly males and 2 elderly females, all of whom had comorbidities, as well as 1 middle-aged female without comorbidities. This brings the total number of COVID-19 related deaths to 677. According to the Ministry of Health, MOH, 259 additional people have contracted the disease. The cumulative number of positives recorded since March 2020 now stands at 28,982. Further, 67 persons have been discharged from public health facilities, while there have been 270 recovered community cases. Recovered community cases refer to individuals who are previously COVID-19 positive and in self-isolation before meeting the discharge criteria to be released. Recoveries have therefore climbed to 19,141. There are 9,164 active COVID-19 cases in Trinidad and Tobago. Currently, 494 patients are hospitalized, 15 are in ICU, and 443 are in HDU. 124 are in step-down facilities, 235 are in state quarantine, and 8,287 are in self-isolation. Moreover, 211,955 people have been tested for the viral illness at public and private health facilities. As of 4 p.m., 164,669 individuals have received their first COVID-19 vaccine dose, while 15,394 others have been fully inoculated. Good news for Trinidad and Tobago's vaccine efforts, as 200,000 doses of the WHO-approved Sinopharm COVID-19 jab have landed at the Piarco International Airport. A tweet by the Ministry of Health, MOH, noted that the vaccines arrived at 1:37 p.m. this Monday. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley gave an update on the arrival of the shipment from China on Saturday. He told members of the media that the shot will begin to be used by Wednesday. Also speaking at the conference, Minister of Health Terence Dale Singh said 50,000 of the 200,000 shots would be allocated as follows: Supermarkets Association 5,000, Manufacturers Association 4,000 to 5,000, Elderly Vaccination Program 20,000, Tobago 3,000, Construction Sector 5,000, Bankers Association 2,000, CPEP 2,500, Private Security 5,000. The shots landed days after the apology by Dr. Rowley over the chaos surrounding the country's inoculation campaign. Long lines prompted by a shift to a walk-in system last Wednesday provoked heavy criticism from members of the public. A return to the drawing board saw the MOH scrap the walk-in system and instead reinstate the appointment system for persons 65 years and over, or individuals suffering from non-communicable diseases only. To date, T&T has received 2 out of 3 shipments, split equally into batches of 33,600 of its 100,800 vaccine jabs through the COVAX facility. The country previously received 100,000 Sinopharm vaccines from China. Regional nations also gifted AstraZeneca vaccines, including Barbados, 2,000, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, 16,000, and Bermuda, 8,000. India donated 40,000 AstraZeneca shots. Meanwhile, as U.S. President Joe Biden pledged to give 19 million vaccines to poorer nations, with some 6 million earmarked for Latin America and the Caribbean, T&T received 80 vials of Pfizer shots amounting to 480 doses. As of 4 p.m. yesterday, 158,515 people have received their first vaccine jab, while 11,649 others have received both doses.